morning. This is Coffee with the Summerland kids, episode 13, lucky 13. Cheers to that crazy number. It's M in the alphabet.
It's so funny, Jericho, because my neighbor, he's got some tattoos, right?
Right.
And he's got a 13 on there.
Oh, crazy.
Right. And I don't pay attention to things. I'm like, whoa, 13. That's letter M. That's letter M. You know what that means, don't you? That's M for marijuana. He's like, oh, yeah. We both know what it means, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
what is it?
I'm going to jump over to Facebook and share out the live stream.
Okay, cool.
So that, I don't know, something I've been doing for our shows.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. So Carpos 13, that was I think that was a little, when we were kids, we clued in on it, like I was talking about Cheech and Chong. I remember like Keith Reagan and I think it was Keith, we were 1980, I was 10 years old. And this might've been like third grade or so, third grade, fourth grade. I'm just guessing. But we rolled a joint with a piece of paper from school and put grass in it from the lawn of the school. And the teacher saw that. The yard duty, Mrs. Snow, saw that and like, I'll just forget about this, and tore it up and threw in the trash can.
Oh, my goodness.
Age, but Cheech and Chong was an early influence on us, It's pretty funny, man.
Oh, yeah, that movie was classic. It's such an interesting, kids are such an interesting thing, because we'll just, whatever we see being done, we'll jump in and we'll try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My girlfriend watches, she watches these videos from there. I think they're like in Iran or Afghanistan somewhere, these people that live in the mountains.
Okay. Wow.
And like the little kids are sitting there trying to be like the grown-ups, picking up shovels, trying to work on the farm, doing the chicken things. And
yeah. Huh.
So kids, they're just naturally attracted to what's going on.
For sure.
I mean, they don't quite understand everything, but whatever it is they see, they're going to try.
Yeah, absolutely. They're like little mirrors or little mimicking. I mean, of course, like I just thought of those guys as almost like cartoon characters, and Cheech especially was the full cartoon. And then in the beginning of the film, it actually shows Tommy Chong's, they might be actors, but they're playing his parents. And they're like, you basically got to get your shit together, kid. And he's like mixing a blender with a banana and juice. And he's doing his morning juicing routine. And they're like, so he gets in his Volkswagen Bug, and it has a Rolls Royce grill on the front of the Volkswagen Bug. And he drives away. And then on the guy who actually owns the Rolls Royce, I think it's the family car, is like, wait, you just stole my grill. So, anyways, good times with Cheech and Chong. Cheers to Earth Day, dude. That was like yesterday, so we're like, it's the day after Earth Day. We got to get it together.
Yeah, it's I trip out on that on holidays.
Yeah.
Because every single month has a holiday.
I know.
Except for August.
Right. Yeah.
That's my birthday.
Oh, really? Classic.
So awesome. To me, every single day is a holiday.
You're Leo the lion, huh? You're lion heart.
Oh, dude, it's weird how accurate some of those things can be.
Uh-huh.
But not only is it Leo the lion, on the day I was born, there's what's known as Lionsgate.
Oh, wow.
So that's I supposedly some kind of spiritual transcendental thing where the veil is thinner and things can come across,
Wow.
and I've always played that role without knowing that's the significance of my birthday
Oh, that's
until
cool.
years later.
Wow.
So it's
That's
trips
cool.
me out.
Did you ever get your chart done? Did you get your chart done? Like we were talking about the other day, the astrological chart with all the little um,
Yeah,
points and directions. Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. I
So
don't know how to read
I
it.
believe my moon sign is in Aries.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a double fire sign, whatever
Oh,
that
wow.
means.
That's pretty cool. Huh. I think I'm a dog in Chinese astrology. Do you know what you
Okay.
are in Chinese?
You're the pig,
Oh, pig.
the
Okay.
iron pig
Iron pig.
specifically.
Okay, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, one of my best buddies from Mark Jimenez. He went to Montecito Union, and then our parents knew each other. I think my mom definitely went to school with his dad, and so it was like a tight little group. So it was like our parents' friends when they had kids became our friends. So Mark was a Leo, so I pretty much grew up with a Leo sidekick. So here we are again with Leo sidekicks. You know,
We're, we're good sidekicks,
yeah,
it's a
Leo
trip
bros.
because one of the things that all these astrology readings say about the Leo is that they can be prideful, arrogant.
Oh, okay.
And I have had issues with that, and I've had to really, really work on trying to be humble. Actually, realizing be humble, but at the
Yeah.
same time, just my stature being 6'4", my
Wow.
voice carries. I do
Yeah.
kind of carry a certain energy.
No, for sure. I feel like there's weight to your presence.
I
Just and
There
people
always
have to
has
like
been.
people have to deal with even if you're just the most chill being, kind of like Chewbacca just chilling, but still there's like this element of like, oh shit, this is a big guy. What's he gonna do?
Dude, it's so true. Because like when I was younger, in high school and stuff, everyone's trying to prove something.
Mm,
Well, if somebody's trying to prove something about like how tough they are,
yeah.
they come after the biggest guy in the room.
Oh shit.
I've been the biggest guy in the room since I can remember. I've been 6'4" since I was a freshman in high school.
Oh my god. Wow.
So I'm used to walking into rooms with adults and just
Right.
literally being head and shoulders above everybody
Oh my god.
in a
Wow.
physical stature, which is crazy. But
Dude, did they try to get you to play basketball in high school?
they did.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Did you get on, or did you practice, or did you do that at all? Like,
No.
no. Yeah.
I played wrestling and football.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
never was much of a baller, myself. I mean, I enjoyed playing, but my friends got much more competitive and had a better understanding of the game. I just wasn't. I was more into skateboarding and surfing than anything else.
Well, that's cool because like you're not really when you're skateboarding and surfing, you're not really in competition with anyone else. You're
No.
kind of in competition with yourself.
Yeah, and the wave, tells you what to do, kind of, if you can handle it, so to speak. You're trying to make it out alive, or even at Summerland, dude. I remember getting. You probably remember going out in the ocean and getting pounded. Even when we were kids. I mean, we were only 4 feet tall, or however tall we are, but the waves were like seem sometimes really big, for us.
Oh yeah, I mean Summerland. What we got the Channel Islands there, so we don't really get the best swell all the time.
Yeah.
But my dad lived up in Santa Cruz, and so I'd go up to
Oh, cool.
Santa Cruz.
Wow.
And there was, we were
That was
kids
different.
and we grew up on the beach. So it was like, here's a boogie board, go have fun.
Woohoo,
And,
dude.
we're out there in Santa Cruz where now we got twice as big waves.
Yeah, and the water's brisk.
And oh, I had a wipeout. And oh, I got tumbled underneath the whitewash.
For sure.
And I made it to shore. And of course, being a kid, what do I do? What would you do, Jericho?
What after getting pounded?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you kind of like take a moment to like reflect on your life, or you
Well,
just
I
get
mean,
back out there.
after that, as a kid, what do you do?
Well, pretty much go back out and just go for more fun. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Because the thrill of the ride, ultimately, that's what's up. And learning by what is it, trial and error on what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's
mean, as
rad.
we
Your
get
dad was
older,
up there. Yeah,
oh, dude, Santa Cruz was a trip because he lived in the town right there.
yeah. Wow.
And then for a while, he moved up in the mountains,
Yeah.
up there in the Santa Cruz Mountains by the mystery spot.
Okay. Cool.
So I guess a town called Scotts Valley.
All right.
So
Wow.
I would bus in to go to school, but it was literally we had to get up and get a ride to the bus stop about 5 miles out of country road.
Wow.
And it's just so it's so interesting because when you're a kid, you think that's so far away at the 45-minute drive.
Right.
But as an adult, when you get your car, it's like, oh, I could go anywhere. It's so interesting how perspective changes over experience,
For
through
sure.
experience.
Definitely. I mean, we used to ride our bicycles all the way. You remember, even just riding in Carpinteria from Summerland, it's a good little shot. You got to make sure your tires are inflated, you're ready to roll, and it takes a little time, to get through it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And then going to Santa Barbara from Summerland, that's another adventure. But it's just it's a beautiful ride, that's for sure.
yes, yes. Oh my gosh, we used to go ride everywhere.
I know.
Everywhere, Santa Barbara. Then when I got up to San Luis Obispo, we'd ride our bikes to the beach,
Oh, nice. Wow.
which is like another 15 miles
Oh, wow.
from
That's a
town, but
good.
we do it.
That's amazing. Wow. That's a long shot. Were you on a 10 speed? Do you think on that one or no?
Um,
Or hard to remember?
it's hard to remember. I think I have had a few different bikes. I've done it on
Yeah.
a BMX style 1 speed, and I've done it on a 10 speed on a mountain
Wow.
bike.
That's badass. That's cool. Good times. Good
Remember
times.
the freedom you felt when you got your first bike?
Oh God, it just was unbelievable, man. I mean, I remember being on it and like having freaking like training wheels, man. At first, and then the training wheels came off. I think it was a Huffy. It's probably from Sears or something. Like starting out on square one basic. But that's probably the best way to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Santa Cruz back in the 70s and 80s, dude, that was a magical time. Same with Santa Barbara. It just was so like not overdone. It was just like leftover from the 40s and 50s, old buildings, just super old school chill. A lot of the old folks still around. I mean, imagine being like, if you were 40 in 1980 or whatever, it's like you're a leftover from a bygone era or something at that point.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I got
Logging.
some friends that are a bit older than me, a little bit older per se.
Right.
And it's just so interesting how people that were introduced to technology as an adult, people that were introduced to technology as a student, and like the millennials, they've had technology since the day they were born.
Yeah.
What a different perspective each of those groups has about
Absolutely.
technology.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, back in the day, it was like encyclopedias and dictionaries. Where do you get your information? You got to go to the Santa Barbara Public Library, or in Summerland School, our tiny library, to find out what we were doing our book reports on or what we're interested in. But nowadays, it's in the palm of your hand. It's like, or ask Siri or Alexa. Alexa, what's the weather like today? Oh, so much for that freaking Sunday paper that Grandpa used to read every day, or something.
Oh yeah, it's wild, and one thing that kind of bothers me, I mean, I kind of enjoy it and kind of bothers me, is how like the algorithm
Yeah.
kind of curates based on what you've already experienced. And
Yeah.
that's cool because it'll suggest music that I haven't heard in a while. But the aspect of getting the same algorithmic results is a kind of annoying, because I do want to see the different things that I don't know about, the things that I'm not following, the things that I haven't liked. I want to see what else is out there.
Right. I bet at some point, I mean, they probably might, maybe they'll have more choice there, or, I mean, like you said, I feel like sometimes I'm reading the Sunday paper because I'll see someone else post something I saw myself, but I didn't like it. I didn't comment on it. I just see, whether it's a Gen X meme or something funny, but then someone else that I know will repost and reshare that. So I know they essentially saw the same thing I saw. So it's like, how many of us are actually seeing the exact same feed? And maybe it's like you said, based on our likes and dislikes, if you will, and our choices that we've made. Here we go. Here's your daily visuals. But I'm just curious how many people are seeing the same exact daily visuals. Who
Yeah,
knows?
that's a big part of it, because
Yeah.
with Facebook, we got a Facebook viewer. Hi, I don't know who it is, but
Thank you,
like
Facebook
on
viewer.
Facebook, I joined these groups, right? I joined the Indigo Children group. And so
Oh,
Facebook goes,
nice.
"Oh, you're into esoteric stuff. Let's suggest all this esoteric stuff." Well, maybe I'm not into Masonic stuff, but I
Yeah.
keep getting that. And maybe I want to learn about things that astrology or something, which is maybe esoteric, maybe not. So I have
Yeah.
to find these groups. Like I recently joined a group, over 1 million people in this group.
Oh, wow.
And so that's interesting to me, because I was invited to be an administrator, a moderator, or something.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah.
Have you
Well,
looked at my page? Do you realize? And maybe that's the key. And then like the poetry I write, right? I
right.
share to different groups, and some of them are small, couple hundred people. Some of them are huge, thousands of people.
Right. Wow.
And so, at what point does my poem get lost to where I share it out to a group of 10,000 people and nobody's, maybe two people like it, but I share it out to a group with 300 people and I get 10 likes because there's not 10,000 posts on that group every day.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting aspect of the technology per se.
No, it really is. With my grandfather behind me, Bill Logan, he was a cartoonist, and I've been sort of sharing over time to the fan group and other groups, other comic book artist groups, just to see what kind of action I get. And sometimes I do get a couple hundred likes, like you said, on a specific thing, because this stuff is, a lot of it's it might be on eBay, but you'll just see the cover on eBay. So when you go into comic books and share stuff, it's the first time in some cases that it's even seen the internet. Because this is all just analog paper that it's, if it was published in 1955, I mean, that was before we were born. So now it's like it's pretty surprising how much stuff has been uploaded, if you will, to the internet. Um, in some regards, they've taken all the dialogue out and separated the dialogue, so you can go and search and read essentially a comic book, just the dialogue aspect of it. So nowadays they actually have things for newspapers, old newspapers. They can feed that paper into a scanner, and then the scanner can read the writing, and it's not 100% dead nuts, but it does it. Essentially, it can the computer reads the text, and then it translates the text to the digital format. you know
Yeah.
so I remember being challenged early on when websites became a thing, and I was talking with a friend who was a web guy, and we were talking about being able to talk to the computer instead of writing to the computer. He's like, yeah, there's a thing called dragon speak, and that was a long time ago, but it's come a long way pretty quickly, I want to say.
Oh, the Dragon Speak. I installed that when it first came out. It took
Wow.
me hours and hours to train that thing, and
Wow.
it kind of worked. And
Okay.
then by the time I got it to work, Google had refined what they had. So you could go over to your buddies and be like, "Hey Google," and talk to his phone. You
Oh,
change your
cool.
voice a little bit. And it's a trip what we're talking about, because I wrote a poem this morning, of course.
Nice.
And the gist of it is like the spoken word versus the written word,
Right.
and how different it can be. I mean,
Sure.
just a simple word like, I mean, okay, let's get PG-13 here. You know,
Yeah.
there's certain cuss words that, you know, fuck yeah, or
Right.
fuck you, or fucking a. I mean, just the same word can have so many meanings. Oh, fuck it. Oh, fuck yeah. There's just two opposite just based on verbalization.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. There's something to be said for that. I mean, just watching you right now, just it's like on the spoken word aspect. Um, you know, you know, I can say I'm definitely a fan, and I love the beat generation, the beat poets, and Allen Ginsberg and Jack Kerouac and those guys. But they didn't have the platform that we have now, so they had to really just go to your bookstore. Um, they would probably set up a little, oh, we're doing a reading tonight, and they would read their poetry in front of their friends and just see what kind of action kind of play they could get. And that was like super cutting edge back then, because the stage, you know, whether it be raised stage or level, whatever, it didn't matter. But the fact that you were projecting your own words out to the public, and in some cases, those words were very controversial and very edgy of the time, you know. So I feel like the walls have been broken down considerably since then, and a potential outreach for a poet has never been better than now, I feel like.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, and you got to figure there's probably quite a few people like Jim Morrison
Yeah,
that
exactly.
just kind of keep their own, write their poetry. Not many are picked up by a band like the Doors
Right.
and told, "Hey, this is neat poetry. Put it to our music." Now, when we think about Jim Morrison and the Doors, we think about music, which affects us much more deeply emotional than the spoken word. And so all these aspects of communication, um, you know, I think the more people are aware of it, the more they'll put attention into it. People always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I could break the
Yeah.
coldest, hardest, meanest news to you. If I dressed it in a way that's palatable, it'll be much easier than if I just shove it down your throat.
Right. For sure.
And I think that's you know, one of those subtle emotional skills or emotional intelligence, whatever. But it's an important part of things.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the was it Oliver Stone, I think, was the guy who made the film The Doors. You know, it's not a documentary, it's just a film about the Doors. And but I read recently about that work that I think it was Ray Manzarek was saying that there was a lot of incorrect um, you know, additions that they added to the film that really weren't Jim. You know, so Ray made a point of saying that Jim was actually Jim finished film school. Jim, you know, did a lot of things that the movie didn't cover. You know, so it put Jim in a certain light that really he wasn't that way. Um, so it's like whether it was the actor or the script, you know, I'm not sure how that all worked out, but I like the film. Um, but it makes you realize that Jim was much more than what the actor portrays him as. You know, so
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I
yeah.
mean, I think everyone is, because it's weird. You know, you get a job, and I wish it would change. But what's the first thing people ask in modern days? Or what do you do? What's your job?
Oh right,
Oh, you're a welder. You're a welder. No, I'm a
Yeah.
person who welds to make money to feed. I could be a poet. I could be a songwriter. I could be a gardener in
Yeah.
my heart. I just go out because I'm decent at welding and I can make a decent living. That doesn't make me a welder.
Right.
It's just, even though
Yeah.
I can't weld, and
No,
I,
I know
I,
you're.
don't
I know
know.
what you're saying.
I
I
compartmentalized a lot recently because I'm studying the AI
yeah.
and I'm trying to understand how it relates, you know,
Mhm.
all this data being expressed. I could write the same words in 5 different AIs. I could write a comedy script, just tell the comedy generator. I could write a movie script. I could just on the same prompt.
Wow.
And so it just had me kind of thinking, as far as like context and intention and that framework, that frosting that I put on that message, I could make the kindest thing. If I say it wrong, Jericho, I can't believe it, man. We have to give you a raise today because you've outperformed, man. I can't believe it, dude. What are you doing to us?
Right.
Or I
Yeah.
could be like, Jericho, dude, you're helping the team. We're giving you a raise. Now, how much? It's the same thing, right? You get a raise.
Yeah.
I need a
But
raise.
it's how you put it. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I was
God.
I was looking on Summerland. I got the stupid idea to look on Redfin.
Oh,
Summerland
really?
houses
Well,
for
good
sale.
idea. What
Two
was
million dollars, bro.
2 mil?
2 mil for the cheapest house on sale in
Oh,
Summerland.
wow. I wonder
Right
if
on
that's the
Harley.
one on Varley. That's the one. That's the one I was telling you about. Yeah. So, yeah. So if either of us, or a fellow Summerlander, we definitely got to, I mean, I'm just curious what it takes to, once you buy a house for $2 million, what's your yearly property tax? Is it just going to the California fund? I mean, I don't know any of that stuff. The city, the state, blah, blah, blah. I
Well,
mean, tell me
I
what.
don't know exactly I think it ends up being about 1% here where I'm at. So the house is valued at 150
Right.
and I pay about 1,500 in tax.
Okay. Okay.
So that's about 1% of the value every year.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
after 100 years, I'll have paid the government the same as I had for the house, which kind of blows me away.
Yeah.
But
That's weird. I
that's how
know.
it is. I mean,
Yeah. I
what's
mean,
our other choice? Anarchy, self-governance?
right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, at least we're living in an amazing time, and I've always sort of realized that you know, but it is a state of mind to believe that now is a wonderful time on Earth. Um, I guess I go in phases with it, in thinking about the fact that right now we can access all the information that we need pretty much primarily, at least where we're at. Um, and that's a beneficial thing for creatives especially. I mean, if you're having a writer's block, like you said, you can put in some stuff to the AI, and then it'll spit out something, and that might be able to give you another little juice to flow with or something. I'm just imagining.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying a couple shows ago, I kind of see AI as a rough conglomeration of the perspective of everyone that's put anything on the internet.
Yeah.
And so, in a way, you can communicate with the AI and kind of get a group perspective.
Yeah.
Um, you can kind of get a feel. You can ask the AI, what are the most popular songs? What is the most popular genre? What is the most popular topic?
And
And you
it
get,
it, it'll, it tells you, right. It pretty much spits
oh
it out.
yeah, dude. And you don't even have to type it anymore. You just talk
Right.
right into the Google.
Yeah. I know. It's crazy. Wow. I
Type right.
wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're still teaching typing.
If what?
Do you think they're still teaching typing in school?
I think there's probably classes.
Yeah, I think it's pretty vital still to have to be able to type. you know,
But
to
I
put
think that, I mean, it's like I watch my, these kids these days, they're on the keypad with their thumbs, typing as fast as you could talk.
yeah, wow. Yeah,
So where does this come into play for
yeah,
them?
yeah,
When
right.
do they even see a keyboard or use a keyboard?
Exactly. Dude, we rocked 30 minutes.
Dude, we made it.
Yeah,
Woo! All right. We do the
exactly.
coffee cup thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Tigger
Ta-ta for
rules.
now.
Tigger for president.
Tigger for pet.
Yeah. Cheers to show 13.
Show 13. If this little section where we're talking about show 13 is on the
Yeah,
video, then I know
yeah.
that when I click end stream, it doesn't stop until